thank you so much for taking time to be with me and to talk about the very first days of the chapel. And they had to be super exciting.
They were. And very exhausting.
Well, yeah. So as we talked in preparation for this, I had 3 questions for you. Really, the first one might be the most important because you carry with you so much knowledge of the very first days. And so when you think back 50 years ago, and you think about God's faithfulness in all that was going on, what stands out? What things stand out? 1, 2, 10? You tell me.
I think it's a good thing for us to get it out that Donald and I came back to Baton Rouge after the Billy Graham crusade was finished, after he was working in 2 other crusades in California, because we wanted to live here. We had fallen in love with the people. We decided to come back here. And the chapel wasn't even in the making.
Oh, you were just going to come back here and live?
We were just going to come back here and live.
Make this home base.
Yes. Some people came that were friends of ours and that were close friends, and they came and asked Donald. They asked him to come and start a church on or near the campus at LSU. It was an exciting time, and I got caught up with it. And I don't know, Donald and I, we just had opportunities that we'd never had before.
But that was
a beginning.
And it was good ministry for you.
Oh, yes, I loved it. People were hungry.
Yeah.
And it was just something different. And it wasn't because there were not other churches in town that were preaching the gospel and preaching well. It was just that it was a different presentation.
Yes, you're talking about Donald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald Tabb. He had a gift.
Yeah.
First of all, he knew the word very well.
Yeah.
And secondly, he was an evangelist. He was also a teacher.
Yes.
He was a really good teacher.
Yeah.
And that church, chapel on the campus, that church, grew so fast.
Yeah.
But it was based on, in my opinion, hospitality. Now, not just hospitality in the home, which that is very important, and we certainly did that, but it was the hospitality of invitation.
I think it's true. I think people felt welcome, and it's something that people long for even now. But I think in the earliest days, people felt like they could come as they were and be accepted, and that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, look at all the thousands and thousands of meals that we've had for internationals. We had opportunities with these families by inviting them to come with their husbands and their children to come to those dinners at Christmas, at Easter, at Thanksgiving. This is something that I think is part of the reaching out
Absolutely.
and going into all the world and preaching the gospel. The chapel has always been, I think, based on the gospel, discipleship, and in my opinion, hospitality.
I love that.
Those
And
three
do you see those 3 things currently?
I see all 3 of these. I do.
good.
But I see it, and I am so pleased
That's good.
that, and I often think, oh, Donald, if you're watching all this, you're very pleased with what's going on here.
Well, let me ask you this: as you look forward, let's think 50 more years. We'll leave that to the folks behind us. But what would you hope for in 50 more years?
Actually, I would hope that it would just continue just like it is. Not that it can't be different,
Right.
because this is very different from what we had.
Yeah.
in the earlier period of the chapel.
But that the gospel's central.
But the gospel is central.
Yeah.
Discipleship continues, and the investing in individuals through hospitality.
Well, I thought when we sat down to do this that I would know everything you were going to say, but this surprised me because it says in Romans, welcome one another as Christ has welcomed you.
Right.
And that is not a casual opening of the door. It's an opening of your life. Christ didn't just create a pathway. He's invited us. Welcome one another. And that's good to hear. It's good to think about in terms of the future because there's so much of the gospel that is transferred through relationship. And I would say the biblical concept is hospitality.
Well, yes. I think that we're here to stay. And I'm praising God. I am.
Thank you, Mary.
I am praising God.